Okay, everybody, here we go. It is that time, and you and I we're just gonna do it. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do it. Anyway, it just happens to be my my post market wrap up today, Thursday, May 11, 2023. Let's just start off with what happened to silver today. It wasn't pretty. We fell by over 5%. We're talking about the paper derivative, people. Yes, it does affect the price of the physical asset. But just in case you were wondering here, and I know some of you might be wondering, do we have huge pallets of silver moving around? No, we don't. That's not what we have. It's just an incredible thing to see. But look, you know the situation. As a matter of fact, silver got slammed. Gold took a hit. Crude oil got hit. Commodities not looking too pretty here. But again, look, why are you and I holding commodities again? Not because we're expecting. This is the kind of thing we should be expecting. Okay, the slam downs with regard to commodity prices via the derivative here, but we're holding these things because we know eventually the debt market is going to freaking evaporate, and that's just gonna send cash out of the stock market. Is going to go right into commodities and the huge way cryptos as well, in my view. Thanks, Mitch. I appreciate that. But look, when you see this kind of thing, is this the first time you've seen this? No, we see it repeatedly over and over again. Tell me again, who is it that controls 53% of all silver futures contracts? Oh, yes, it's JP Morgan. Oh, yeah. What else would you expect to happen? Let them play their game, people. Let them play their game. It's not going to change a damn thing for me. It shouldn't change it for you either when you see these things. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. So look, you know the situation here, and we got some other unbelievable news here on the economy, which I want to talk about. Look, so you're watching Bloomberg, CNBC, Fox Business, and they're telling you exactly what you and I said they would in my morning video today. They're stripping out. If you strip out food and energy prices out of this inflation number that we got today, okay, it makes the picture look a lot better than it actually is. You see, because this is what they do. They want you to believe. Now, how many of you believe this? But this is what they want you to believe, that the price, the rising prices of food, the rising prices of energy, oh, this is temporary. It's transitory. It's going to miraculously comes down. So let's strip that out and let's tell everybody how great inflation is. No, inflation continues to rise. And, counting food and energy, for which we all use these things, well, the number just gets pretty freaking grim. But again, they got to blow sunshine straight up your crack and try to make you think that everything is fantastic. Now, here's the reality of some of the situation here. Now, just listen to this. Okay, no surprise to you. Nobody that follows this blog is going to be, it's sticky, is going to be shocked. So more Americans today are dependent on credit to get by than ever before in history. That's number one. Number two, more Americans today living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck than ever before in history. More consumers being forced to borrow more so than any other time in history. Okay. Again, no shock, no surprise. What did they do? What happened? You and I spoke about this a couple months back. Oh, yes, look at your credit line. It's just miraculously got an increase, a big one on top of that. That's because they feel you're so creditworthy. No, they realized that this is exactly what was being set up. People were going to have no choice here but to swipe, borrow, and that's it here. And again, it's a mechanism to destroy the consumer, a mechanism to kill the middle class, period. And the economy, it's over. Now, this market, so this stock market today, did you watch it? Almost a repeat performance of yesterday. Thank you, Israel. Appreciate that. Yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, I did add to my position today. And we're going to talk more about that. So, repeat performance of yesterday. At one point, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down over 400 points. Then comes the cavalry. We finished lower. The Dow finished down about 200 something points. after the cavalry. The S&P 500 was deeply negative. Cavalry came in. The NASDAQ actually finished positive today. But look, this market still is existing in an environment where there is a black hole, a vacuum under it. Okay. Thank you, Christopher, as well. Wow. You people are amazing today. And I cannot see how this is going to continue like this. This market, in my opinion, okay, is on the edge of a big move lower. And again, this is not a crash call, because the real crash is going to begin and end where? Where is the real crash going to start? Is it going to start and end in the stock market? I'm waiting to see a comment here. Where's it going to start? It's going to start and end in the debt market. Right now, the 10-year yield, the entire yield curve is being forced down. The yield curve is being, exactly, thank you, broken arrow, down. When that happens, when you see the yield curve dropping, that's not cash leaving the debt market. That's cash going into it. Now today, if you watched the video I did this morning, it looked like a fear trade to me. I said, it looks like a fear trade. We had the yield curve drop, 10-year yield lower, relative strength of the dollar markedly stronger. We did finish the day stronger with regard to the relative strength of the dollar. Remember, its absolute strength is evaporating, henceforth why we're seeing inflation. Okay. So it was a fear trade early on, but they definitely sent the cavalry in. This plunge protection team is real. Look it up for yourself. When they see turmoil in the market, they start buying stocks. I'm talking about the Federal Reserve here. But look, could this go on in perpetuity? Are they never going to allow the market to even have a correction? We don't even have corrections anymore. The market seems to only go in one direction, no matter what's happening to the economy. I mean that's the game here. Make people see a stock market that seems to be surging higher and higher, or at least not falling off of a cliff, and people think everything is okay. They say the economy must be fine because the stock market is okay. That's the normal mentality, or the basic mentality of the brain dead people out here. And the disconnect just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Economy, market. I've shown you this for years, people. That's exactly how this has been playing out. It's just not going to change until it does. But with that said, to me, it looks like, look, they could pull off anything they want to. The Federal Reserve has an endless supply of cash to buy the market. That's a fact. Okay. But it also it's a double-edged sword. Thank you, R. Heath. I appreciate that. Wow. That's awesome. You got, it's inflationary. Whenever you hear about cash having to be pulled into the now from the future for anything, another 1.2 billion for the war, it's inflationary. Central banks propping this all up, it's inflationary. What are they doing, central banks? They're issuing debt through one door, buying it back to another. This revolving door mechanism is why we have this issue of inflation right now. Period. That's the reason. You're not allowed to know that. When was the last time you heard a single one of our politicians explain this to you? They can't allow you to know because they must continue to spend and spend and spend. And in order to spend and spend, they have to have a line directly to the Federal Reserve. You understand? That's how it works, but you're not supposed to know that. I need a channel. XRP Junkie, start a channel, dude. I help you out. I help out everybody. Everyone who asks for help will get it. All right. You want to start your own channel? I hope you do. I honestly do. Now, with regard to my position here, okay, you know how I did? I took a position up against the S&P 500, paid off. Nothing fantastic. Pulled out about 8%, just a shade over 8%. I took up a new one. I built that position into a pretty large one at this point here, only because I sincerely believe this market is on the cusp. It's on the edge of a big fall. And again, it's not the crash that everyone's talking about. I'm talking about 5-10%, something along those lines here, because the crash, again, is going to start and begin in the debt market. You all know that. So with that said, I need help, please. I'm willing to help you. XRP Junkie 19. I told you. Start a channel. Let me know. All of you, start your own YouTube channel. Use my stuff if you want to, and I'll help you get out there. I really will. Look, we got to get the word. Greg calling a market crash. Jeff, is that what you want, Jeff? No, because I'm willing to. I know you're kidding, dude. I know you're kidding. I'm kind of not kidding, but I know you are. Anyway, yeah, the manipulation is kind of outrageous here, people. Lava Girl. Oh, Lava Girl's here. Magic Meek is here. Oh, Geo Rider. All of my people here. I love all of you. You're the greatest, honestly, people, seriously. Why a big fall? Because this market has gotten stupid. It just doesn't make, it's just defying gravity. We have an economy in free fall. It's being propped up again by easy money. And, at one point, you don't need, here's the thing. Let me explain this to people. This debt ceiling issue, whatever. It's going to work out. Either it is going to work out or it's not. President Trump said what? Let them default. If they, yeah, absolutely. Let the default happen. Honestly. Thanks, Mitch, again. But what people don't understand is you don't really need an event you can point to for the market to fall. Generally, these things take people by surprise. Sure, a big geopolitical event or something can obviously cause the market to drop. But then you see, when you get a geopolitical event, let's talk about this real quick, all right? So we can better understand the market. When a geopolitical event causes the stock market to fall, generally you get an almost immediate rebound. When a market falls when it seems like there's no reason for it, those tend to last longer because the market doesn't get it. It doesn't know what's going on. When you could point to something and say, okay, this is the reason why the market is dropping. This event occurred, whatever happened here. The market always rebounds relatively quickly off of those things. For those people out here that day trade, they love that kind of stuff. Okay, I've day traded for years. I've swing traded for years. When you see that, again, a geopolitical event and the market dumps, 1,000 points, 1,500 points, whatever it might be, you should be looking to buy calls there because 8 times out of 10, you're going to get a quick rebound. But again, these events that occur that you don't see coming, where the market just drops 500 points, followed by another 500, people can't really get their head around what's going on. Those are the ones that tend to play out longer. Anyway, that's just a little lesson here. Joe Biden rocks. Yeah, he has rocks in his head, but that's besides the point. Again, you know how I feel, people. This country the world is not run by presidents, kings, queens, monarchs, or dictators. It's the central banks that run the show. Who controls the economy? It ain't the president. Who controls the markets? It ain't the president. Who controls the financial system as a whole? It ain't the president. So that should give you an idea as to who is the controlling entity here. People, we can do better than this. I got 1,560 people following. 538 thumbs up. Really? Honestly? All right, here, look. Give me a thumbs up for this. You all know how I love to lick silver. I like it. How does it taste? It has some kind of like a thing going on. When I do that, I get like a tingle down my spine. I don't know. Kind of tired. All right, people. What else can I tell you? That's where we are. That's where we stand here. If I licked the toilet bowl, Jerome, I would have 7,000 thumbs up. There's no doubt about that. As opposed to 700, it's amazing. That's how people are. That's it, people. What else can I tell you? So again, let's just cover this just real quick. Think about what I'm about to tell you. And I know you're not surprised. You probably just, whatever. But more Americans today are dependent on credit. Why do you think, while we're talking about this, so this is what they're letting us know about that. More Americans today are dependent on credit than ever before. Why is it that you think, what's the real reason why central banks have been raising rates? Because they're cutting the availability of credit to those who need it. You understand? Especially small businesses. The big corporations, the multinationals, they can weather pretty much anything. But the small business owners, the people just trying to get by, maybe people like yourself, you're in a lot of trouble here. Okay, not only are people more dependent on credit than they've ever been, you got a situation where central banks are making the availability of that credit less by raising rates. Thank you, Carlos. You understand? It's just a mechanism. I mean, all of you get it. All of you that have been with me, you understand the situation here. And if any of you are looking for some kind of saving grace, it ain't happening anytime soon. I can promise you that. Things are going to get much, much worse. Yeah, plastic is fantastic, right? Isn't it? Until you got to pay that freaking bill. Yellowstone, yeah. And Yellowstone, all the dynamic freaking duo. Unfreaking believable. Big Rick has been with me since 2015. That's awesome. That's awesome. And the middle class has been decimated, and they're getting wiped out faster than before. Why do you think these things are happening? Is it just by chance? Is it just by some flip of the dice, a roll of the dice, that more Americans today are dependent on credit than ever before? That more Americans today are living paycheck to paycheck? That consumers are being forced to borrow? Meanwhile, the availability of credit is drying up? No, this is absolutely by design. When are people going to wake up? That's what I want to know. When? And when they wake up, it's going to be too freaking late. Because it's always too freaking late. You understand? It drives me crazy, people. I'm sure it does to you too. Thanks, Mitch, again. I appreciate it. Yes, commodities are a buy. People, look. All right. I'm going to say it again. Let's cover this a little more, okay? Because it seems like I'm not doing it enough, okay, or good enough, or whatever it might be. We are going to enter into a commodity super cycle unlike we've ever seen. It should be extremely simple to understand why. I would be willing to bet, Tide Pod time, thank you. I would be willing to bet, literally, that all of you, or at least 90% of you, do not believe the current system is sustainable by design. Okay, they're inflating a hyper bubble in debt like we've never seen. No one even imagined, even me, that it would ever get to the point we're at now. Okay, the real issue is we are in a full-blown debt crisis. And this issue with the smaller banks, did you see what happened today? It was a miracle too. So the regional banks earlier today, they were down. They were down. Then all of a sudden, I don't know, some entity out here, I wonder who, started buying it all. Oh, yeah, maybe it's the Federal Reserve. Yeah, exactly. They got to prop these things up. They got to prop up these smaller institutions long enough for them to be absorbed. And they're going to be absorbed. And in my view, at least one of these big banks are going down too. So just be ready for that. Look at that. Nice number. We got 855 thumbs up. We got 1,752 people watching. Okay, that's good. I can deal with that number. Anyway, people, you all got it. You got what I'm talking about. You know, we're on the same page. I'm preaching to the choir here. All right. All of you get it. That's why you're here. All right. We understand the situation. And not only do we understand it, we know what to do about it. Going back to commodities. When you see these things, when you see a 5% plus drop in the price of silver, again, think about what I'm telling you. I'm going to hyperventilate. It is not pallets of silver that are moving here and moving there. People aren't showing up at some doorstep with a truckload of silver here. Thank you, Clever Custom Performance. No, this is paper. It's nothing. It's not on the elemental chart. These are digits on the screen. They don't exist. They're in la-la land, okay, like everything else. Wow, we're almost at 1,000 thumbs up. This is incredible. Our record is 1,200 people, 1,200 thumbs up. I believe it's 1,200. Maybe some of my, maybe Lava Girl and Magic Mika knows, I think. But anyway, that's what I want you to think about. So I know a lot of you, I'm looking at, throughout the day, I'm checking my emails. Greg, are you seeing what they're doing to silver? Yeah, I'm seeing what they're doing to silver, but it don't bother me none. I don't care what they do. Let them play their freaking game. You and I are in this for the long haul, for the long game. All right, I play this thing from multiple angles. Yes, I am net long this market. You all know that. I own boatloads of JEPI, pays me a nice dividend every month. I like getting it. Lovely. I am short one thing, that is SPY. I do sincerely believe the market's going to fall. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. It might go to the freaking moon. Who knows what they're going to pull off here? But in my view, wow, we passed 1,000. It looks like the market is on the edge of something, on the edge of a big move. And again, the disconnect between what's going on in the economy and people is just it's astronomical. It's just incredible. And it's just it's getting worse, and people are getting strangled to death. Yeah, we are on a knife's edge. Jerome Powell even said that. We got Jerome here. buy oil stocks. Energy. I like if you want to own an energy company that's going to pay you a dividend. I want to be paid to own the stock. Honestly, people ask me all the time about this, that, and the other thing, and there are a lot of places you probably could look, but Greg Mannarino wants to be paid to own whatever company that I would feel like owning. You understand? And JEPI to me, I like the structure of it. Okay, it's a DVN. That's a good one. Absolutely, Lava Girl. Look at her. She's on top of it. She's amazing. I love my lionesses. I really, really do. Look, with the miners, people ask me about miners all the time. I don't own any. I'm not saying that these are bad investments, and I just don't. If I have a choice, and I'm telling you right now, and I've said this for a decade here, if I have a choice, and I clearly do, and so do you, between owning a hard asset or a company that mines this stuff, to me, hands down, it's the hard asset. I want it in my hand. I've stuck to that strategy for a really, really long time. I mean, silver. I started buying silver when it was like, I don't know, maybe it was $8 or less. I bought all the way up, and I continue to buy. I haven't bought in a while. Gold, $700, $800. I mean, but. And I'm not done. I'm not done buying this stuff here. I did not buy silver on the dip today. I'll be honest with all of you. I know some of you did. Hey, Greg, I bought X, I bought Y, I bought Z, amount of silver today on the drop. Good for you. Good for you. Again, you're in this for the long game. You realize eventually all this is going to get real. We will get, look, this is my opinion, and I've been telling you this for 10 years or longer. We're going to get an implosion in the debt market. This hyper bubble in debt is the greatest threat, literally, to humankind. Honestly, we're going to end up with a resource problem, a much smaller population here, probably a global war. War's already started. They already got their scapegoats. You know how this works. Wow, 1,113 thumbs up. This is beautiful, people. Thank you for this. I got almost 2,000 people watching this right now. It's amazing. Yes, Chris. I am your buddy, and you're mine. Look, we're a big family out here. I really feel that way. You have no idea. I run into people like you all the time when I'm out. All the time. People go, hey, you Greg Mannarino? Yeah, of course. And I feel like I know you guys and girls. We just hit it off because we have something in common. You know what I'm saying? Black Swan event, absolutely, but you don't need it. Understand? I covered a little while ago with regard to Black Swan events, unpredictable kinds of things that just happen here. You don't need one for the market to take a hit. A real true Black Swan event that would facilitate, let's just talk about that real quick, a meltdown in the debt market. Look, you know what I'm concerned about. The market does its thing. Markets go up, stock markets go up, stock markets go down, metals go up, metals go down, commodities go up, commodities go down. Okay, that's it. But what's the driving force behind everything? Where do these assets, all of them, derive value from at this time? Well, it's clearly the debt market, which is a hyper bubble of hyper bubble. We just broke a record here, people. 1,211 thumbs up. It's incredible. Anyway, the debt market is the driving force of everything that's going on, and the dollar itself being a unit of debt as well. The dollars that you hold, they're not yours. The dollars that we work for, they're not ours. You work for the privilege to borrow them from an issuing central bank wherever you may live in the world. Think about that. You get up every day, you take your shower, you have your breakfast, you say goodbye to your family, you kiss your kids, you pet your dog, and you leave. You run out through the front door, you go to work, and you're working for one thing: the privilege to be allowed to borrow funds from the Federal Reserve, if you live in the United States, or whatever central bank's rulership you live under, because you owe every single one of those bills back to the issuing central bank plus interest that they magically create from nothing. Imagine that kind of a system, but that's what we have. It's an insane, twisted thing. Seriously. Well, yeah, that's a really good point. Again, I'm going to, if you You know I'm a crypto advocate, okay? I'm one of the few crypto advocates. The market cap for cryptocurrencies has gotten decimated as of late. It's kind of a niche little thing here. If you have a cryptocurrency, a Bitcoin, it's yours. You own it. It's not owed back to a central bank. All right. And the real reason why, Greg, again, I'll just cover this really, really quick, holds some cryptocurrencies here. And I don't even own nothing like I used to. That's really the truth. I've told all of you this. But I hold this stuff because I believe we're going to get a moment of implosion in the debt market. Cash is just going to bleed out of the debt market, bleed out of the stock market. It's going to look for places to go. It's going to go into commodities. I mean, I can't imagine another scenario. We've seen this before. It's going to make its way into cryptocurrencies as well. And there's going to be a time to get out of that stuff at one point. Look, if I'm still around, then I hope I am. I hope we're all together at that point. We'll talk about it. We have so much. You and I honestly have so much to look forward to, so much to talk about. I love just thinking about that. I really, really do. Can't buy anything with crypto. That's wrong. You see, because I bought physical gold with cryptocurrency. So sorry, that blows that theory. There's a lot of people who don't like crypto and I don't understand why, even though, again, it really isn't used as a currency for the most part. You can use it if you like, but it's not used as a currency. People hold it like they do gold and or silver. And that's, again, there's no competition between what central banks are going to issue and the current cryptocurrencies that are out there. Oh my goodness, just almost, I need 1,300 thumbs up. This is a record, people. You're witnessing this right now. It's a freaking record. Anyway, no competition between what central banks are going to issue with their their currency, which will be digital, because they will transact in that. Completely different thing. Completely different thing. Anyway, the bonds are getting decimated, people. I mean, people have been holding these things, and look, it's an interesting thing, and that's something else I touched on. I believe it was yesterday, talking about central banks. Central banks are chock full of these things. Let's call them what they are: toxic assets. These banks right now, they got a big problem. I talked about it. I believe it was yesterday. The big banks, they're not immune to what's happening here. Remember 9 months ago, no deposits, no loans, no deals. So the big banks are in the same boat. But you can't know that. You have to think that they're untouchable. They're invincible. They're all wearing their white robes and they're all in big lofty positions over there. No, they got big problems here. Their liabilities way outweigh what they actually have. They're all underwater. They're all insolvent. The whole system is insolvent. The system works in a perpetual vacuum that includes these major institutions as well. I mean, if we were actually privy to know what kind of derivative bets that these investment banks have, multiples higher than their entire negative net worth. Multiple hundreds, more than likely hundreds of times. That's it. That's the kind of a situation that we're at. The whole system relies on electricity. Duh. Okay, crypto's relying on electricity. Look, I've heard everything in the book with regard to cryptocurrencies. Okay, if the whole system went down, let's say you transact, let's say you buy food or anything. Okay, maybe you could barter. Okay, the whole system is dependent on electricity and the grid and everything else. Okay. So enough with this stuff. Where to buy silver? Okay, that's a good question. The place I have used mostly for a long time, well over a decade, is APMEX, American Precious Metals Exchange. I have never once had a problem with these people. Never once. Doesn't mean you won't. And I don't get a kickback from these people. And there are alternative sources. I actually go to a lot of the local places sometimes here. And sometimes you can get good deals on this stuff. Right now, the premium for physical gold and silver, if you go into like a local shop, is pretty staggering here. But if you buy enough of it, you can just don't give people what they want. Let's say you walk into a coin shop, all right, and the guy or the girl walks over to you and you say, "Hey, listen, I'm interested in buying this." They say, never, ever give them what they want. Okay, don't give them what they want. What is it? How does it hurt you to try to negotiate a better price? Thank you, Sandy. It can't possibly hurt you. Say, okay, well, what about this? What about that? You know what I mean? Just never do that. Always try to negotiate a better deal. I mean, just for another example, okay, let me tell you how Greg Mannarino operates. When I'm buying a stock or an exchange traded fund or whatever, I never, and I mean this, I used to kind of bend this rule a little bit, but I don't bend it anymore. I never, ever, ever, ever buy it at market price. I always put in a limit order to buy or sell. I don't want to give them what they want for it. You do that, these market makers are going to literally rape you. They're going to rape you. Do not let them rape you. My goodness, 1,448 people. You guys are incredible. But I'm serious, like whatever it might be. You want to go buy a new car, or whatever. Just don't give these people what they want. Negotiate with them. It can't hurt you. It can't. Look, I know what you want. This is what I want to give you, and then just say that's my price. That's it, and whatever. Anyway, look, this is pretty basic stuff here, people. Okay. Greg is married to the game. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I think about it all the time. I immerse myself in it. What I have said, people, for forever is whatever it is in your life. This is me being going a little bit away from the market. Whatever it is in your life that you want to be good at, if you want to be I don't know, whatever it is, your job. If you like your job, hopefully you do. You want to be the best at it. You just don't want to be, a regular employee. You want to be the best. Okay. You have your own business. You want to make your business the absolute best. You want to play guitar. You want to be the best guitar player. You want to be the best at whatever it is that you choose to do. In order to become the best at anything, you have to literally be that thing. You have to become that thing. Okay. And in order to become something, you have to immerse yourself in it. You have to also be willing to, understand that you may be wrong about something. And that's kind of not easy. Sometimes, people a lot of times, and even me, I'm not lying. You get fixated on something and even in the face of evidence against it. But if you sit there and ponder it and realize, hey, you know what I've been thinking, even if it's been for years and years, may actually be wrong. That's how we grow. And it's just so important. Anyway, people, that's pretty much where we stand. Very long video, 32 minutes. This is a record setter here. 1,523 thumbs up. I can't thank all of you enough here. I love all of you people. We've talked so much. These live streams are where it's at. If you remember when I first started doing these live streams, people hated them. Why are you doing them, Greg? Stop doing them. Just go back to the old format. But this has worked. I mean, I love having you people here. I sit here, I listen to the you guys and you girls here, and that's it. One day I will play guitar. I promise I'll play guitar for you, honestly. All right, look, I got to get going. I'm sorry this video has been so long, but I haven't had a complaint. Yeah, F the haters. Exactly. Somebody's going to hate this video for being so long. I guarantee it. But you know what? Some of you have been with me for the whole damn freaking video, and you like it. And you know what? If you like it, then I like it too. All right, look, I'm out of here. Love you a lot. Thank you again for these thumbs up. Thank you for your support. We almost hit 1,600 thumbs up. This is incredible. This is definitely a record breaker. All right, I'll see you in the morning. It's going to be lovely as usual. Friday, tomorrow's Friday. Saturday, I pick up my CUDA. I got a Hemi CUDA, 68 Hemi CUDA. Can't wait to get it. I'll take a video of it and I'll post it. We'll see if I can get it out over the weekend. All right. Love you all. I mean that from the heart. See you tomorrow.